At last week's 2K, there was a wild card on the Elevate roster, and he goes by the name Bound. Who is this man? How is he so good? Here is just a tease on what to expect today.
On both those shots, but nonetheless, that's 3 dead. Sabinator leading the charge here to get back into this. They were down by 6, Golden Boy, and now we've just seen 4 unanswered kills here come out of Elevate. They've got the overshield, and they still have Sniper Rifle.
And they know exactly where the enemy team's going to be. That will be a backwhack from Bound. Bound sees 2 players down low. This could be the game. He just needs to be careful not to get hit. He's going to Mario stomp him. He Mario stomps him for the triple kill. Oh, my word, Bound.
Mamma mia! It's my best Mario impression, but before we go back to Mushroom Kingdom, let's follow Bound for an entire killing frenzy on the Rig Strongholds. Now, this is a long clip, so I've included the original clip in the description below. You can watch the original clip on Halo's past broadcast. Instead, I'm going to break this down as we go, starting with the location of everybody off the spawns. We've got APG, top tower. We've got Miquin, white corner. We've got Neptune and Spartan facing off in the trenches, basement window area. And then we have Sabinator on top engine, influencing the spawn so that Bound spawns in the bunker area of the map. Fallicated is down, RIP Fallicated, but Bound, he's going to spawn here, and this is interesting because they actually control the caps on the outside of the map right now. They have the basement, they have the nest, so the incentive for the red team is to want to push outwards to control the outside of the map, and Bound knows this, so instead of just staying in the bunker off of spawn, he is going to fly off of spawn to the center of the map and help his teammate. Watch this. He can thrust slide out, land a perfect shot on Neptune to kill him, land shots into Miquin. Both of these players overcommitting themselves trying to kill Tyler, and Spartan doesn't go down, so they're both down. Now APG making that rotation over to basement is a smart decision. He needs to get out there and rotate to basement. Bound was unaware of the fact that APG was making that rotation, so you can see he's checking his corners, trying to see if somebody's hiding on top tower. He's going to use a nice jump to get up to top tower. There's a variety of ways to get to top tower. This is a crucial one and an easy one as well. Just jump, hold crouch, shove your body into the wall. Literally just hold that stick, the left stick, into the wall, and you can actually stand here. As long as you're holding that left stick into the wall, you will stay on this ledge. You can reposition yourself and then jump up to the top of the tower. And the reason why you want to reposition yourself is because there's a beam right above his head, as you can see. So just make sure that you walk forward far enough to get past the beam so you can jump, clamber up onto the wall. There's no reason why you shouldn't be hitting that jump every single time now. So clambers up. That's a jump, hold, crouch, clamber up to tower 3, and he's going to drop. You can see he was checking his corners as well to make sure there wasn't a player there. He's going to sprint and slide jump over to this location. So he's not jumping to here, he's jumping to here, and this is a very narrow beam that he has to actually stand on. So you have to make sure you hold that left stick inwards towards that wall so that when you land on that wall, you stay on it and you don't fall back down. So he's going to slide, jump over to the wall. His reticle positioning is weird in this instance. You want to make sure that if you're moving quickly around the map, you are positioning your reticle to support your fast movement. Otherwise, you get in situations like this because he looked indecisive as to whether or not he wanted to look to white corner or look to basement. APG was already waiting for a push from basement, so APG with his reticle already positioned is going to get first shot here. Bound's going to take shots. He has to dip, and he can jump thrust out to tower 2, but that would kind of be a slower process in this battle. Instead, Bound knows that he can jump thrust out to connector, while tossing a nade too, but he can fight this battle basically from a different angle. So jumping in, landing in connector, he can jump, clamber up to this spot. Sparty's one shot right now. Sparty's going to take a risky challenge against Miquin outside here. He's going to die for it, unfortunately, but Bound, actually, with one shot here, he can clamber up, and remember, you can take advantage of the clamber to get extra cover for just a little bit longer and let those shields start regenerating and clamber back up a second time. Now, remember how I said you can tilt the left stick back, kind of buffer that tilt during the clamber so that you slowly fall back down so you can clamber back up? I've actually realized, because I've been grinding this recently, but once you get up from the clamber, just peg that left stick back with a really quick tap and then release it back to neutral, and you will perfectly fall down behind that ledge, and then you can clamber back up a second time. So it's one of those things, the more you do it, you just find your own technique, and you'll start, clambering back up and down on these ledges very precisely. He can fly up, take out Miquin, and now he's going to push the basement with Fallicated, gets the nice shots at APG to take him out, and he's in a great position right now behind behind this box. This is one of the best locations to be when you're capping the basement because you've got perfect lines of sight over the nest while you're capping. You've got the box in front of you that protects you from the basement window, and you can also, turn your sights and make sure that nobody comes at you from behind. You can see he turns his sights over to yellow barrels here. Now, from this box, he can actually jump up to the box for an easily available exit strategy from any negative scenario in this battle here, or in this part of the map here. Let's say that a player is coming up from behind him in the basement, or players are shooting at him from basement window. His easily available exit strategy is to jump up and clamber onto this long haul here and to get up to the long haul. So knowing that that is your exit strategy, always make sure that you position yourself in a place that will allow you to take advantage of that. So being on top of the box or behind the box, so you can get up to that ledge if you're in trouble. So he clambers back up, takes a shot from a player, goes down to check, but regardless, he'll go back up here and fly to the center of the map. Now, he does a thrust slide here, which is kind of weird because I'm assuming that the thrust slide was so that he could fly all the way to engine 2 and maybe dive in on an opponent, but instead he changes his mind, which is a good thing because railgun is going to come up. So instead he's going to go for rail. He lands a nice shot on top engine in the process. Now he has the railgun. This is a great opportunity for him to make some huge plays on tower. Sabinator's going to go down. Penguin's using the jump. You guys remember the spring jump from the bottom of tower to top of tower. Always use well, you don't have to always do it, but I recommend always using the scoreboard spring jump for this location because it's one of those places where you're rarely going to be in battles while you're jumping between the two locations. So why not just hit it 100% of the time with a scoreboard spring jump as opposed to doing the original type? But regardless, Bound is pushing up, lands some nice shots into basement here. Spartan's coming in to help. I think Bound in this instance could have actually pushed to top tower, taken out Penguin, but regardless, it doesn't matter. He stays bottom tower here, gets his shields back. Penguin makes one of the stupidest plays I've ever seen Penguin make. He drops into BR base to try to stop BR base while 3 enemy players are in BR base. I'm not sure why he made the no awareness play, but he did it. They're going to easily take out Penguin and cap the basement in the process. Now you can see Camo is up as well, and Bound, he's flying past Camo knowing that it's up, which actually ends up being a very intelligent play because it allows him to work on stopping basement very quickly. Well, it baits Neptune to go grab it, and then he just takes him out, punishes him for going for the Camo. So he actually kind of baited the enemy team while capping the basement at the same time. So it ended up being a very intelligent play. Takes out Neptune. He's going to go circle back around the map. Players somehow spawning up in bottom tower and yellow barrel side of the map now. And the way that he's getting back to tower is something super important to consider, because you could just go down the stairs and you could walk into this location right here beside where the barrels spawn and move your way over to tower. But this area, it's so easy to get naded. Like, nades will bounce off the wall. They'll fall in that location. If you're in trouble, you'll be forced to only thrust one direction, back out to the staircases to basement or to long haul, as opposed to being on the outside area here. If he's in trouble, he can thrust out the map. Remember, you can go back outside the map. He can thrust down to basement if he wants to. Like, he can't get hit by nades easily in this location, so it's so good to travel along the outskirts of this corner here and then jump, hold, crouch so you can get up on the lookout here. He's going to jump, stabilize in the air, which is a great stabilize as well because he's got a beautiful angle on these players on white corner, and in this stabilize he knows in his head that he can thrust out to tower to still progress to where he wants to go while laying damage at the same time. So one of the beautiful applications of the stabilize that you need to take advantage of is when you're jumping from the lookout over to tower 2, stabilize, land the shot, thrust into tower 2, and now he can go help his team. He's going to push up here. We'll see him jump up to tower 3, players probably spawning, his teammates actually spawning up in the BR base, and now we have players outside the map capping nest and spawning BR base. Bound knows in his mind that he needs to quickly move his way over to the basement, especially because Spartan is currently engaged in a battle in basement, so he's going to fly over to basement as fast as he can, land these shots. I don't really know how I feel about him flying across basement. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm not a wizard on all the knowledge on decision making in this game, but below him the basement is being capped. He has an opportunity to drop in and to finish off a player, or at least stop that base from being capped. Instead, he's going to jump and fly all the way across the back catwalk. Now, I think what he wanted to do was, assuming Spartan lost his battle, he can clean up an easy one-shot. But Spartan traded in his battle, so he's just one-shot here now. But regardless, his teammates are going to go back down to basement. They will cap basement, and now he's going to make a pretty intelligent play because he knows his teammates are capping basement, and he knows that the next ideal cap point is going to be nest. They're going to move over to the outside of the map to cap nest. So he's going to move over to nest from a flank position. And noticing APG is flying by, he disregards him entirely and just decides to jump all the way down to the bottom of the map while shooting Neptune at the same time. I have not seen movement like this. It's so casual and just so, like, it just ends up being intelligent at the same time. He just lazily jumps and falls right down to this point right here. And he must know it too. Like, he must know in his mind, if he jumps from this location, he will fall and land perfectly in the bottom of the map right here. He can jump off of it and then shoot Neptune, kill him as he goes by, while removing angles that APG had on him. APG doesn't really want to give up his positioning and chase him down into trench, so he managed to avoid APG entirely while taking out Neptune there for free. So now he's on the bottom of the map. He's pushing up, realizes that players on top engine, they've spawned in bunker. They're capping BR base at this point. He takes a team nade. I don't know how he's alive here. I know there's a lot of situations where players, their incentive is to push out on tower wall after they spawn in bunker. So assuming a player pushed out tower wall, he would be absolutely destroyed for jumping out and making this play. But both the players on Renegades in this instance decide to spawn off a bunker and fly through engine 2 instead of going off of tower 1. So it's an interesting decision. Like, I don't know if he knew that they would push through to nest, or if he's just making ballsy plays because he's got tons of kills and he wants to just give his team time to cap nest at this point. Anyway, like, either way, he's killing it. He's going in and just destroying players on every area of the map. Now he's on the bottom here below them. He's going to try to find an opportunity to take some shots. Instead, he's going to go around. This is the jump up that you want to do to get up, back up to top engine. Just jump, hold crouch, land on the wall, jump off of the wall again. You can clamber up, fire some easy shots at APG, slide over into BR base, and you can take out that final player for the Frenzy. There's a lot happening in this analysis, and a lot of insane plays at the same time. And speaking of which, let's go back to our original play. Bound flying across the center of the map, grabbing the OS, flying over to Cafe. Note that 3 players are down right now, and Bound is about to take out the last one by meleeing him in Cafe. So the big thing you want to pay attention to is where his teammates are after he gets that kill. Remember what I said in my video. I have a almost 30-minute analysis of this map, Splice vs. Tox. It's linked in the description, and we talk about how loop control, Spartan right here, controlling the loop is so important because it blocks the tram spawns, while at the same time Bound and his teammate behind him on the radar are blocking the Cafe hotel spawns. So they all know as a team that they have now forced the spawns into the lift side of the map, on nest and lift. Now Miquin, I think, is trying to lead a play here. I think Miquin is trying to say, they have OS, we are spawning in the bottom of the lift, they know we're spawning in the bottom of the lift, so I am going to sit in a corner and try to assassinate him. I'm assuming that is the mindset, that, like, that's why they didn't just fly out immediately. Honestly, I think flying out would have been a better option, because Bound, he knows walking around at set walking speed right here, he is not going to go off on the radar. He can be nice and sneaky, drop back, get the backs back on Neptune, who is just alone applying pressure on Nest. And now we have 3 players in the bottom of the lift, and you never want this. We are back to 3 players in the bottom of the lift. He's going to toss some nades, get some easy cleanup nades on the 2 players stuck in the hallway, and he spots Miquin, the troublemaker, trying to get the backs back, and his whole plan is foiled right here as he stomps him with, as Goldenby says, the Mario stomp. So like I said in the title and in the beginning of the video, who is Bound? He comes in on Elevate as a sub and they win the HCS 2K. Apparently he's a 1v1 god, and he just recently won a 1v1 tournament, winning against Renegade and a number of other pro players. So why isn't he competing regularly? I've heard rumors left, right, and center that he has been competing with pros for a while, that he's young, that he's old, that he plays on a mouse and keyboard. If you know, in the comments, let me know. And if Bound sees the video and he wants to get more public with his gameplay and start to post gameplay and stream on Twitch and start competing, I hope he does, man. I hope he brings it out there so that I can see and that we can see and we can break it down and learn from this gameplay. Clearly, he's capable of a lot, capable of greatness, and he is just getting started, and I hope that we see more. If you guys like Bound's gameplay and you want to give him a follow, his Twitter is linked in the description at Kodak Bound. You can check him out. But that covers the video for today. Hopefully, a lot lot of that stuff was engaging and helped you in your gameplay, especially all that movement on the rig that you can apply to your own personal gameplay. But that's everything. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell beside the subscribe button so you can keep in touch with all the videos as soon as they come out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you around.